Is this it? This is it. This is the last one. Last one. Grindelwald versus Voldemort. Part 8. It's time to wrap this up. Move on to better things. Here we go. I have spent the better part of the last 2 weeks comparing these two, doing research and trying to figure out who would win against who in what different category. I gave you guys a rundown of their backgrounds, the different types of power, their demonstrations of power, leadership, and so on. In the end, it has turned out that Grindelwald has the far superior number of actual demonstrations of power, whereas Voldemort is lacking. Sure, he can fly around, he can turn into a puff of smoke or whatever the heck he's doing while doing that, but in the end, he just hasn't shown off a lot of his power. And many will say that's because he did everything in the background, in secret. Well, he sure did things in the background while he was hiding in the Shrieking Shack during the Battle of Hogwarts. Indeed, Grindelwald even has superior leadership abilities, though Voldemort amassed the larger army. Though his larger army is mostly brain-dead creatures that he's going to murder later, it is still a larger army. That means that in a head-to-head battle, which is army versus army, more than likely Voldemort is going to win. Now, if the canon changes later for Grindelwald, I'll do an updated video. But at the moment, we're only 2 out of 3 videos in to his movie series, so we don't know for sure if Grindelwald is going to have a much larger army or not. I can, however, say for sure that given their leadership types and the choice of working for one over the other, I would definitely settle for working with Grindelwald. Voldemort is likely to murder me in a fit of rage, while Grindelwald will let me either walk away or test my loyalty. I think I'll take the latter of the two. On top of that, Grindelwald has shown a much more consistent ability to put the cause before self, while Voldemort spent 7 whole books chasing down a teenage kid that he had a grudge match with, over and over and over again, over something he caused himself. And if we're all being completely honest with ourselves, given the actual evidence, the fact that Voldemort has repeatedly failed miserably to take down a 15-year-old kid, and the only argument anybody has against that is plot armor, which is a very lazy argument, it becomes increasingly obvious that Grindelwald would trounce Voldemort thoroughly in any duel they ever competed in. Don't have to take my word for it, though. The Minister of Magic, Dumbledore himself, and everybody else seems to fully agree that Grindelwald is a superior duelist. As to this date, Grindelwald and Dumbledore's battle is still known as the greatest duel ever fought. So, at the end of the day, Voldemort's army might be able to beat Grindelwald's, but Grindelwald would make quick work of Voldy in an actual head-to-head duel. On top of that, in any realistic world, most people would rather work for Grindelwald over Voldemort any day of the week. So in Grindelwald versus Voldemort, I'm going to give this one to Grindelwald.